Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Sonic the Ioniq channel, and in this week, I want to talk about 5 different ways you can get the most out of the range of this vehicle, how you can get the most amount of miles, and how you can drive very, very efficiently so you can fully enjoy this beauty. So first thing I'm actually going to talk about, and I think it's not talked about enough when people talk about ways of increasing your car's mileage or just increasing the range, and that's tire pressure. So you want your tires to be properly inflated and inflated at the recommended PSI. So 36 PSI or some model 38, some models 38 PSI. And that's important because if it's well inflated, it's gonna be highly efficient, and the vehicle is gonna run much more efficiently. Whereas if it's underinflated and there's not enough pressure in the tires, it's gonna increase rolling resistance, and that's just not an entirely efficient process. So please get your tires all the way up to the recommended PSI and keep them that way. So one thing that I've pretty much have had constant throughout since I got this vehicle has been, and I think is the biggest way to kind of increase range efficiency, is having the vehicle in eco mode. And what that is first of all, how to activate eco mode is by using this button over here, drive mode. So when you click it once, it'll kind of toggle between different modes. So for example, right now it's in normal mode, and then you click it again, it'll activate sports mode. And then of course there's also another option of snow mode, but I can talk about that later. And then clicking it again, it kind of activates the eco mode, as you can see. And as I toggle through those options, you'll notice that some of them have different estimated mileages. For example, 193 for eco mode, and you'll see the 187 here for normal mode, and then a much lower or a little lower with sports mode. And that's just the estimated mileages. But as you can see, eco mode is the most efficient way to drive this because you get the most amount of estimated mileage, and that's simply because it just is it reduces energy consumption. So there's certain background activities, background software that go on that is just much more reduced under eco mode, that you don't it doesn't affect your day to day, and it also just optimizes the car's output. So it's an overall efficient process, and I have leaned and lived in eco mode for basically the entire time I've had this vehicle, just simply because it helps a lot with getting mileage back. So another way of increasing your vehicle's mileage and just the vehicle's efficiency in general uh, is through regenerative braking. So the Hyundai Ioniq 5 has something called the regen braking, which um, put simply, is just a way that the vehicle kind of rechannels the energy from being kinetic energy to the into the braking system, and kind of increasing that process of energy consumption and energy efficiency when you're trying to slow down or brake. And so what that means is a high regen number, a high regen level means your vehicle will slow down a lot once you let your foot off the gas. And a low regen level, such as level 1, will mean that once you take your foot off the gas, the regen braking system won't, cause the vehicle to slow down as much compared to level 3. So there's pros and cons to that, but basically, you want to have level 3, at least the way I do it is have level 3 activated. So you'll see here that currently I have it at level 3, as you can see here. And so that means that when I let my foot off the gas, the car slows down a lot. All that energy that usually would be lost through heat, in form of heat, is kind of it, channeled into the braking system, and it slows down. And that way I don't lose as much energy from the vehicle. And that's good when you're driving in a lot of stop and go traffic, and there's a lot of traffic, or just stoplights in general. And that's how it's most efficient for your vehicle. You don't always want to have it at level 3. You can have it at level 1 when you're like coasting, or on the freeway. That's you're not stopping as much, so that way you're being more efficient when you're on the freeway with level 1. You just kind of have to know your vehicle as well, know your route. If you're using this car for commuting, you probably want it at level 3 as much as possible. But that's just my kind of 2 cents on that. So another way to make sure that you get more and more mileage out of this vehicle, and I think this is, for the most part, applies to all vehicles, you don't want to drive too fast. One thing that will hurt your mileage for the most part is driving too fast. And driving too fast mostly means like speeds of about 70 miles per hour. So if you're on a freeway, I mean, if you want to get somewhere fast, you got to do what you got to do. But in order to kind of have the most efficient process for your vehicle, you want to stick to around 45 to 65 miles per hour, and that's a pretty good constant number, that kind of constant range that kind of ensures you get the most out of your vehicle. And there's a whole science to it behind the drag and the optimal battery usage. But just for your day-to-day user, you want to stay within that 45 to 65 mile per hour range, um, and then you should get pretty good results in terms of your mileage. Now, this last one I don't do too often. In fact, I think it's a minor tip. I only do it when it's when I'm in a pinch. But it has to do with climate control. When you're having your AC or your heater on and it's blasting, typically that reduces how much range you can get from the vehicle. So you want to use it as least as possible. And especially if it's just you, the driver, driving by yourself. As you can see here, there's a driver only option. And if you click on that, it just simply applies to your side of the vents, the driver's side, so you don't have to worry about. That way you lose a little less estimated mileage. There's also an option if you are really, cold, for example, and you don't want to use up too many miles. You can also just simply kind of rely on the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. That way you can still stay warm without relying heavily on the climate control system. I'll show you what I mean by that a little bit, if you don't have the experience with this vehicle. So you can see with the 193 that I'm at right now, if I increase, or if I just turn on, just turn on the fan a little bit to like level 2, you can see that it goes down to 186. And if I blast it higher and higher, I'm losing more and more estimated mileages. And so, yeah, I just want to reduce that as much as possible. And you don't have to, it's if you're cold, you're cold. You have to use the AC, or if you have to use the heater. Just another minor tip, like I said. This one's not as big as the others, but something to always keep in mind. There you have it, 5 ways of increasing the mileage of this vehicle. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, leave those notifications on. I want to hear what you think, though. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your comments, questions. Did I miss more ways that we can make this range even more efficient? Let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll see you next time.